And we are live, coming to you from the St. Clair Sports Park on the beautiful campus of St. Clair College in Windsor, Ontario, as we get ready for the first semifinal matchup in the 2022 Canadian Collegiate Softball Association National Championship Tournament. My name is Dan Dominguez, and I, along with the We Digital crew, are bringing you all the action as the 3-0 Western Mustangs are about to take on the UBC Okanagan Heat, who are 3-1. The Mustangs got the bye in the quarterfinals by winning their pool, while the Heat defeated the Humberhawks 6-5 earlier today to advance to this semifinal. Later on today, we'll have the second semifinal immediately following this game, where the host team, the St. Clair Saints, will do battle against the Durham Lords. Pitcher Amy LeDuc doing her warm-up tosses. Cold +3 day, 13 degrees. Canadian flag blowing in the blue sky behind. A few clouds, 41% humidity. Wind gusts at 44 kilometers per hour out to the right field foul pole. Amy LeDuc's going to be on the mound for the Mustangs. Her battery mate, Meg Hamilton. Lee Miranda at first, Blythe Hilpert at second, Abby Bush at short, Lauren Greco at third base. Across the outfield, Madison Mahan in left, Ainsley Wiedow in center, and Ashley Wildman. And we are ready to go here in the first semifinal of the CCSA National Championship Tournament. Casey Wright, the center fielder, is going to lead things off. Her fourth year out of Richmond, BC. And we're underway. Strike on the outside part of the plate, 0-1. Cold, windy day here at St. Clair Sports Park. The 0-1 pitch from LeDuc. Squares the bunt, drags it down the right side. Tough play to third baseman, flipped over, not in time. Bunt single for Casey Wright. Nice drag bunt there down the first base side. Tough play from Lauren Greco. Valiant effort, big stretch by Miranda, but not in time. Cassidy Kello now. Left-hander, Eden Crouch, another bunt. Over to third base, fires to first, in time for the first out. Sacrifice bunt there for Kello, moves the runner over the second. Greco with a fine catch, Miranda with the force out. So Casey Wright moves over the second base. Taylor Rosler from Port Coquitlam, BC. Her third year. Ball high. She went to Port Moody secondary in Port Coquitlam, BC. Right-hander Rosler in the box. LeDuc on the mound. Wheels and fires. Misses. 2-0. Casey Wright on second base. Good crowd here at St. Clair Sports Park. Pitcher LeDuc leans back, rocks and fires. High fastball, 3-0. Rosler now looks down at third base coach, takes a couple practice cuts. Give me a cold evening here in Windsor, Ontario. Taking all the way, takes strike number one, 3-1. Top of the first inning in the first semifinal matchup here in the CCSA National Championship Tournament. Fastball just late, strike call, strike two. Just caught the outside black of the plate. We'll run the count to full. LeDuc looks in for a sign. Leans back, rocks and fires. Fly ball, center field. Guido's there, makes the easy catch. Throws it in the third. Runner has to retreat to second base. Two down now here in the top of the first. Casey Wright still on first base. Cheyenne Simisak, second baseman. Simisak's 5'7", out of Surrey, BC. Burnsview Secondary School in her first year. Looking to cash in with a two-out single here. High fastball. Meg Hamilton rises to her feet to keep that from going to the screen. Stiff breeze out towards right field. Shade across the infield. Tough sun out in right field. High pop up to the right side. Miranda underneath it. She makes the catch for the third out. So top of the first. No runs across. We'll be back in the bottom of the first here on We Digital.
For every big breath, for every little breath, and for every breath in between, Ontario Power Generation is committed to keeping Ontario's air clean. That's why the power we generate is 99% free of smog and carbon emissions. Because clean air matters to us all.
And we're back here at St. Clair Sports Park, the beautiful campus of St. Clair College. Bottom of the first inning. The Mustangs coming to bat. UBC Okanagan unable to score. Our broadcast brought to you by Mont's On Time Express, Bob Riem Sports, and Martindale Window and Doors. So Taylor Roselure is going to be on the mound. Bottom of the first inning. They finish up their warm-up tosses. Kello fires down the second, and we're ready for action. Madison Mahan's going to lead things off. Mahone out of Reboro, Ontario, 5'8". Digs into the box. And we're ready for action. Corner's playing about even with the bag. Wheels and fires inside. Strike one. Handcuffed her a little on that first pitch. The right-hander resets. She's in the box. Roselure rocks and fires. Ball low. 1-1 now. Mahone in her first year with the Mustangs. No score here early in this semifinal matchup. The 1-1 pitch. Outside, strike two. Caught the black again. 1-2. Leadoff hitter Mahone now. Gonna have to battle down in the count. 1-2. Roselure rocks and fires in tight. Almost got her on the shoe tops there. Pushed the count to 2-2. Mustang bench cheering her teammate hard. Kind of will her to first base. Swing, pop up, straight up. Catcher makes the play. Cassidy Kello with the pop out. Nice play by Kello to get out of her stance and make that catch. Had to avoid the batter and still got out of the crouch to make that first out. Blythe Hilbert now. Lefty out of Waterloo, Ontario. Her third year with the Mustangs. Ball misses, fastball outside. Hilbert went to Kitchener Collegiate. Fastball misses inside. 2-0. Roselure now wipes her hand on the turf. Trying to get a grip on this cold late afternoon. 2-0 pitch. Fastball. Outside corner, strike one. Wide strike zone so far, home plate umpire. Rocks and fires, high pitch, pop up to the shortstop, just overhead. Cheyenne Lawrence backpedals to make the catch. Nice play by Lawrence. She had to change direction on one of that. Started over her left shoulder, had to turn around, was able to stick with it to record the second out. Lauren Greco now, third baseman, steps into the box. She's in her fourth year out of Burlington. First pitch in there, strike one. 5'7", right-handed hitter, Corpus Christi Catholic Secondary School. 2 down here, bottom of the first inning. Swing and a miss, strike two. 0-2 now, 2 outs, bottom of the first inning. Lauren Greco up the bat. Taylor Roselure on the hill. Swing and a miss, strike three. She blew the fastball by her to record the out. So we're through one here at St. Clair Sports Park. There's no score. We'll be back for the second inning here on We Digital.
Every child should learn how to swim, for health, for safety, and for fun. That's why we've started Canada's Swim Team. Learn to swim at least 25 meters on your own, and you're on the team. Canada's Swim Team. It's that easy. Help make us the world's largest swim team by adding your name at getswimming.ca. Ask your parents first. Swimming, the only sport that can save your life.
And we are back. Top of the second inning. UBC Okanagan coming to bat. Caitlin Harmon, the hitter. UBC trying to get into the finals of this 2022 CCSA National Championship. First pitch in there, changeup low. They defeated the St. Clair Saints in extra innings last year to win the 2021 National Championship. Hoping to get a chance to repeat tomorrow in the gold medal match. Amy Leduc leans back, rocks and fires. Fastball swung on and fouled back to the screen. Strike one. 1-1 now. Leduc with her patented stand behind the mound to look at her center fielder, compose herself, and get ready for this 1-1 pitch. Inside, hit hard down the third base side, foul. Head coach Michelle Webster down the coaching box, her fourth year with the UBC Okanagan Heat. Third baseman playing tight on the bag, that's Lauren Greco. Pull hitter here, Caitlin Harmon. 1-2 pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss. High fastball, blew it right by her for out number one. Leduc, her first strikeout of the ball game. Goes to the back of the mound, stares at center field to compose herself after a lot of different pitches in this game. Cheyenne Lawrence now, out of Kelowna, British Columbia, fouled back to the screen. In her third year, out of Aberdeen Hall High School. 0-1 now. No score here early on, top of the second inning. Amy Leduc on the hill. Meg Hamilton behind the plate. Fires one. Breaking ball high and away. 1-1. Good energy down from the UBC Okanagan bench. Trying to get something going here in the top of the second. Leduc rocks back and fires. Fastball. Just called strike. Big strike zone from home plate umpire here this afternoon. Lawrence didn't like that call. Little grin to her bench. The 1-2. High fastball. Pulled the string for strike 3. And bit of an underhand eephus pitch there to pull the string for Leduc's second strikeout of the ball game. Nasty pitch. Madison Rosler dancing at home plate. She's excited at a Port Coquitlam, British Columbia. She attended Terry Fox Secondary School. So Leduc in the groove. Amy Leduc on the hill. 2 outs, nobody on. Fastball misses away. 2-0. Leduc behind the mound, stares into center. She's ready to go now. Leduc wheels and fires. Fastball. Fouled back to the screen. Two down now here, top of the second inning. Rosler, the third baseman. In the box, Leduc leans back, rocks and fires. Breaking ball over the third baseman's head. Diving catch, not in time. Falls in the left field. They'll hold her to a single. End of the bat shot over the third baseman's head. Abby Bush gave it a shot there, but couldn't come up with it. Able to hold the runner to first. A 2-out single. Bailey Burke steps to the plate now. She's playing left field, Chilliwack, British Columbia, in her second year. Strike one. Gets encouragement from her third base coach / manager. We'll keep an eye on Rosler on first base. See if they have anything going with 2 outs. High fastball, pickoff attempt, back safely. Meg Hamilton jumped out of her stance and threw it down the Miranda. Applies the tag, just not in time. 1-1 now. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 1-2 now. 2 outs. Runner on first base. Shade over the infield. Sun in center and right. The 1-2 pitch to Burke. High fastball for strike 3. Blew it past her. She gets out of a little bit of a jam. Strikes out the side. So we're through 1.5. Here at St. Clair Sports Park. Still no score. We'll be back here on We Digital.
Did you know that the most severe injuries in our region are motor vehicle crashes? 65% of road fatalities last year were directly the result of distracted driving. 90% of injuries arriving in our emergency rooms are preventable. Our message to you this summer is put down the phone. Just drive. Let's work together to keep our trauma stretchers empty.
Where are you headed?
Just gonna hang out.
If any of your buddies ever pressure you to take a drink, just tell them you promised your dad you wouldn't.
I promise. Love you too, Dad.
They really do hear you. For tips on what to say, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
We are back. Bottom of the second action. The Western Mustangs taking on the UBC Okanagan Heat in this CCSA Softball National Championship semifinal. The winner will reach the gold medal matchup tomorrow. The loser will be relegated to the bronze medal match. St. Clair is going to be playing in the semifinal match later today. Ainsley Weedo, big cleanup hitter. Weedo was the Mustangs Athlete of the Week last week. She hit .733 with 4 home runs, including a grand slam. Also had a perfect game on the mound, and also had a 2-hitter on the weekend. Strong week for Weedo. Fastball, strike one, 1-1. Rosler wipes her hand on the turf. Get a better grip on that ball. The 1-1 pitch. Hit hard up the middle. Base hit. Weedo leads off the second inning with a single to center field. Weedo has been one of their strong hitters all weekend long. Shortstop, Abby Bush. Abby Bush out of Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, Auburn Drive High School in her second year. Rosler on the mound, leans back, fires in tight. Ball 1, just missed. Rosler now rocks back and fires. Misses low. 2-0. Taylor Rosler on the mound, trying to get her first out of this inning. Corner's about even with the bag. Fastball, line shot, base hit right field. Weedo rounds around second. She's heading for third. She's going to get there in time. Almost overslides third base, but in safely. So runners at the corners with nobody out. Abby Bush, a hard shot the other way. Good job by Hall Eckes to get the ball in. They fired over the third, not in time. So the Mustangs have something going here in the bottom of the second. Their big hitter, Lee Miranda, she's been their strongest hitter all weekend long. Fastball in there, strike 1. We'll see if the Mustangs have anything going with runners on the corner. That's Coach Pete Lemon down third base. He's in his 21st year with the Western Mustangs. Rosler on the hill. Deep breath. Fires in, squares for a bunt. Down the third baseline, it trickles foul. 2 strikes now. Lee Miranda, kind of a surprise seeing her bunt there. She's been one of their power hitters. She's able to hit it out of any ballpark. 2 strikes now. Runners at the corners, nobody out. She rocks and fires outside. Ball 1. Miranda checks down for her signs from Coach Pete Lemon. Gets back in the box. Big right-handed hitter. Bat high in the sky. The 1-2 pitch on her hands. Shortstop's underneath it. She makes the catch. Runs the ball back into the infield for out number 1. Big out there for UBC. Looked like it got her on the handle a little bit. Lawrence chased it down again. She's had a good, solid game so far defensively for the Heat. That brings up the left-hander. Isert Bender. Hannock from Plattsville, Ontario. Her first year with the Mustangs. Third baseman creeping in. Runner goes about halfway. They're going to give her second base on defensive indifference. So runners on second and third now. 1 ball. 1 out. Here comes the pitch. Strike 1 outside part of the plate. Rosler really painted that one to get her first strike. Corners in. Middle infielders a little bit deeper. Pop foul down the left field foul ground. Bailey Burke gives it a chase, but the ball falls in. Foul ball. 1-2 now. Big pitch coming here. Left-hander takes her swings, gets back in the box. Bottom of the second inning, St. Clair Sports Park. No score here in the first semifinal matchup. High fastball misses. Counts even at 2. Roselure toes the rubber, gets her sign. Deep breath, rocks and fires. Hit high to center field. Casey Wright is there. Runner tags. Throw coming to third. Run scores. Runner safe at third. It heads towards the dugout. And it's out of play. The run's going to score. The ball trickles away from Madison Roselure. Unluckily, trickles right to the dugout of Western. Out of play. The second run scores on the advance. So it's a sacrifice fly, scoring the first run. Casey Wright did the smart thing, throwing it to third base. They didn't have a shot at home. And with the dive, it just trickles away from Madison Roselure, and unluckily, it just trickles into the dugout, allowing the runner to score. So a big 2-run sacrifice fly there. And the Mustangs lead at 2-0. Timeout here. Center field having a little bit of a problem. Kind of stretching her shoulder out. Might have hurt herself on that throw to third base. Catcher comes and talks to the pitcher. Kello to Roselure. Casey Wright working out that right shoulder. She looks like she's okay. That's their leadoff hitter. She had a single early today, so she'd be sorely missed by the heat. A little bit of a breeze still out towards right field. Kind of from left field foul pole to right field foul pole. Here's the pitch, high and away. 1-1. So the Mustangs lead it here 2-0. Bottom of the second inning. Semifinal number 1 of the CCSA National Championship Tournament. In tight. Ball 2. Meg Hamilton, the catcher now. 2-1 count. She's out of Glencoe, Ontario. Glencoe District High School. Just missed. Outside. Ball 3. Kello tried to frame that one for home plate umpire. Unsuccessfully. The 3-1 pitch. She rocks and fires. Fastball. She gets called back by home plate umpire. Tried to talk her way in the ball 4, but she's called back. Full count pitch. Roselure leans back, rocks and fires, fouled straight back to the screen. We'll redo the payoff pitch again. The right-hander resets in the box. Roselure on the hill. The full count pitch. Hit straight back over to the screen. Hamilton battling this at-bat, making Roselure work for that third out. Western, bottom of the second inning, leads 2-0 against UBC Okanagan. The full count pitch. Hit up the middle, line shot, base hit. Hamilton reaches with 2 outs. She reached down for that fastball and hit it hard into center field. UBC had no chance. A little half swing. Right up the middle to center fielder Casey Wright. And we got a 2-out single. Ashley Wildman now, the right fielder. Looks like we have a courtesy runner on first base for the catcher. That's Isaac Bender. She made the second out, so she's going to courtesy run for the catcher. Wildman up now. 5'4" out of Vaughan, Ontario. Cardinal Carter Catholic High School. Missed away. Oh, strike call. Well outside the strike zone, but home plate umpire liked it anyway.
The first name or the last name? First name or last name?
1-1.
I went to school with an
Strike 2. So home plate ump's giving them inside and outside. That's going to be tough for our hitters here to try and get on base with that wide of a strike zone on this cold evening. 1-2 now. 2 outs. Outside corner. Doesn't give her that one. 2-2. So deuces are wild. Number 2 at the plate. 2-2. 2 outs. 2-0 lead. Fouled straight back. The Heat trying to get out of this early jam. They've given up 2. The sacrifice fly by Isaac Bender scores Ainsley Weedo, and Abby Bush comes behind her on the errant throw from Casey Wright that went into the Western dugout, allowing the second run to cross the plate. So Taylor Rosler leans back, deep breath, fires it in. Ground ball off the glove of the third baseman in the left field. Madison Rosler, valiant effort at third, just trickles off her glove. Bailey Burke tosses it in. And the Western Mustangs have 2 runners on again. That brings the top of the order. Madison Mahan. Mahan popped out to the catcher her first time. Out of Reborough, Ontario. Tall right-hander, 5'8". Righty steps in, swing and a miss. Strike 1. 0-1 now. Runners on first and second. Bottom of the second inning. Westerns push 2 runs across here. Taylor Rosler rocks and fires inside, almost catches on foot. Throw over to first base, back in time. 3 umpires set here in this semifinal matchup. So 1-1 now, 2 outs, 2 on. Rosler on the hill. Leans back, rocks and fires. Fastball, strike 2. Nice pitch there by Rosler. The teams are going to have to get used to this wide strike zone and have to start swinging at some of those ones on the corners. She's right up on the plate. The 1-2 pitch. Rosler ready. Inside, fouled it to the screen. Good job to stay alive there by Madison Mahan. Look at the infield. That's Cheyenne Lawrence at shortstop. The runner on second is Meg Hamilton. Or she was pinch run for by Isaac Bender on the courtesy. 1-2, 2 outs. Bottom of the second. Fastball away. 2-2. So we got deuces everywhere on the scoreboard. 2-2, 2 outs, 2 on, 2-0 lead for the Western Mustangs. Here in the semifinal number 1 for the CCSA National Championship Tournament. Rosler trying to get out of this tough second inning. Hit hard to third baseman, just foul. Madison Rosler there. Keeps the ball in front of her, a couple feet foul. That's Isaac Bender on second. Wildman's over on first. Pitcher rubs her hand in the turf, get a better grip on that ball. 2-2. In tight, fouls it off. That one was right in on her. Might even hit her if she didn't swing at it. Rosler tosses it back to her sister. So we're going to do the 2-2 pitch again. Rosler fires it in. Hit hard in the hole. Third baseman fields it. Has a little trouble. Misses the tag. Has nowhere to go with it. She bobbled it just a little bit. Reached out to try and get Isaac Bender. Bender's able to get past her. And the bases are now loaded for the Western Mustangs. She just had a little bit of a bobble. Reached out, missed the tag, and then had nowhere to go. So they're having a discussion on the mound. Looks like they're changing pitchers. That looks like Michaela Muir. So Michaela Muir coming in, try and keep these runners from scoring. Taylor Rosler had a tough second inning. She got through the first 1, 2, 3, no problem. But even got the second fly out, center field to Casey Wright. The sacrifice fly scored one, but on an errant throw allowed a second run to score. And on the error by Madison Rosler, the Western Mustangs now have the bases loaded. There's Coach Bob Lemon with his team discussing what they want to do. A little bit of a dance party by Lauren Greco. And they're still working on Casey Wright's shoulder. Center fielder, when she threw that ball in the third base, must have tweaked something in center. So the runners are going back to their bases. Muir has finished her warm-up tosses, and we're ready to go. So Rosler is going to move to left field after her job was done on the mound. Hilpert now comes up with the bases loaded. Muir now on the mound. Misses outside, ball one. It's a big situation here now. Western trying to break this one open early. The left-hander in the box. Out of Waterloo, Ontario in her third year. 5'5" second baseman. In there, hit up the middle, base hit, that's going to score one. Runner comes around third. There's a play at the plate. She is safe at the plate, safe. Good throw from center field. Cassidy Kello was a little bit too far in front of home plate on that one. She had to dive back to get the tag. Wildman able to come around the tag. A good one-hopper. Just up the first base line a little bit, just gets in on the corner of home plate safely. Good call by home plate umpire. The runner moves to third on the throw. The hitter moves to second on the throw home. A 2-out, 2 RBI single from Blythe Hilpert. And the Saints are in business here. 4 runs here in the second inning. 0-1 now. Hit hard in the left field. Nice falling catch by the former pitcher Taylor Rosler to record out number 3. Big second inning for the Western Mustangs. They put up 4 runs to end the second inning. We'll be back, top of the third inning action, here on We Digital.
What can milk do? Well, it can turn you into a morning person. It can help fuel some pretty tough stuff. And it can definitely make cartoons funnier.
No, it can't.
Oh, well, it can have a little edge. But come on, even kiddies love it. It'll keep up with you at any age. It makes engines whir and creme brulee creamy. It's one of the easiest labels you'll ever read. And anything that makes this happen is pretty special. In fact, what can't milk do?
No. I never smoked any. Sure, I smoked a bit. But it was more your mom who was into it. Pot grows naturally, but it won't help you grow as a person.
Talking cannabis with your teen can be learned. Download our free brochure.
You know what? Poison ivy grows naturally, but it's not good for you, is it?
Find the answers you need at drugfreekidscanada.org.
And we are back. Our broadcast brought to you on Time Express in Windsor, Ontario. Bob Riem Sports. Martindale Window and Doors helping bring you this broadcast here from the St. Clair Sports Park on the beautiful campus of St. Clair College in Windsor, Ontario. The lights coming on now, starting to take effect. Amy Leduc still on the hill. She struck out the side last time. First pitch, ball one. So it's Michaela Muir now. Amy Leduc rocks and fires way high. So Michaela Muir from Okotoks, Alberta, third year. In there for a strike. She went to Foothills Composite High School, 5'5" right-hander. Now in the pitch, trying to get on base now. A little off-speed pitch, missed away. Three and one now, the leadoff hitter. She's on the mound now. Inside, fouled over the screen for strike number 2. Full count now as the kids fly to try and get that foul ball. Someone's got to tell them they can't keep it. Full count now. Leduc misses, ball 4. Leadoff walk from Muir. 4-0 lead, top of the third inning. UBC trails. Casey Wright now, Richmond, BC, in her 4th year. She's the leadoff hitter. She singled to lead off the ball game. Squares the bunt, just foul. She retreats back to home plate, the center fielder. She's having a little trouble with that right shoulder, so we'll see how the swing is affecting her, or if she keeps trying to lay it down. First and third base way in at the corners, expecting the bunt. She squares, swings a check swing to the backstop. That was probably ball 2 if she could lay off, but she checked swing and got a piece of it to the screen. 0-2 now. Casey Wright. Muir on first. Leduc leans back, rocks and fires. Outside, ball 1. Leduc now again walks to the back of the mound. Takes a deep breath. We have time. The batter tying her shoe. Leduc staying on the rubber, ready to go for this next pitch. A lot of kids excited in the ballpark here today. 2 great semifinal matchups coming. Check swing. Line shot in the left field. That's a single. Didn't take a hard swing at that at all, but hit it solid. So she's 2 for 2 now. UBC trying to get back into this one. Just a little slap single in the left field. Madison Mahan able to get that back in. Just throws it off the glove of the third baseman Greco. Cassidy Kello now. She's the catcher for UBC out of Parksville, BC. She squares, bunts it, third base, fires over the first, in the right field. 1 run's coming in. The Heat are on the board. Greco had a tough throw down to the first baseline. She had the runner in her way, fires it back past the second baseman covering first. So UBC Okanagan has runners at the corners. Nobody out. 1 run across. Greco's going to get the error on that one, allowing the runner to reach and the other runners to move with 1 run coming in. So the Mustangs lead at 4-1 here in the top of the third inning. The 3-hitter now, Taylor Roselure. She's out in left field for the team now. She started on the mound, got in a little trouble. Another defensive indifference. They let Cassidy Kello run the second base there. So second and third now to Kello. Runners on the corner. Runners on second and third. The corner infielders are way in. High fastball away. 2-0. With that 3-run lead, Western didn't want to throw the ball around there. They let Kello run down the second base without any problem. The 2-0 pitch. Leduc leans back, rocks and fires. In there, hard shot to the shortstop. Comes home, she is out at the plate. The batter makes it to second base, but Abby Bush on that curveball, hard one hopper, she comes up firing, and a beautiful throw and catch by Abby Bush and Meg Hamilton, the catcher, to cut down the runner. Time was called. Cassidy Kello tried to sneak home unsuccessfully. So runners are on second and third now. One out. Cheyenne Simisak, the second baseman. One out now. Pop up right side, first baseman Lee Miranda's over to the screen against the netting for a foul ball. Good effort by Miranda as well as Meg Hamilton, and even the pitcher Amy LeDuc came over to help out. So one strike, one out. Runners on second and third. The Western Mustangs lead 4-1 here in the top of the third inning. Simisak out of Surrey, BC. The 0-1. Hit hard in left field. That's in for a hit single. That's going to score one. They're going to hold the runner up at third base. Misses the cutoff man, allowing the runner to reach second base. One away here in the top of the third. Here comes Coach Bob Lemon. He calls time, and he's coming to the mound to discuss this next play. So 4-2 now. UBC Okanagan getting themselves back into this ball game. They gave up 4 runs in the bottom of the second, but have now clawed back and gotten 2 back. That hard single by Simisak scored 1. Taylor Rosler's on third, Simisak on second. And we're ready for action. So Caitlin Harmon, she struck out her first time. So second and third, one out. Corners even with the bag, maybe slightly in. Amy LeDuc in a little bit of trouble. Caitlin Harmon out of Abbotsford, BC, second year. A little change up, just missed ball one. Wind picking up a little bit now. From left to right, left field to right field pole. The sun completely gone. The light's taking effect. Fouled back to the screen. Strike one. 1-1 now. One out. Runners on second and third. Fans bundled up behind the batter there in the St. Clair Sports Park stands. Wild pitch, just gets by. She's coming home. Throw to LeDuc. She is safe. Safe. The pitcher drops the ball. If she could have held on to that ball, she might have got that second out, but it just trickled out of her glove. Let's see that on the replay. Little wild pitch just gets away from Hamilton. Hamilton flips it to the pitcher. The pitcher, LeDuc, just a little bit late getting to the play, and that was all the difference. So UBC has now pushed their third run across. And they have a runner on third with still only one out. Fighting their way back into this game. Down 4-0. Have now made it 4-3 in the top of the third inning. 3-1 count now. Caitlin Harmon, designated player. Outfield, center field playing deep. Foul back to the screen. Runs the count to full. LeDuc heads back to the mound, steps to the back of the mound, stares out in center field, gets that composure, deep breath, and now toes the rubber, determined as ever. This full count pitch with one out, she rocks and fires inside. Strike 3, drop third strike, fires to first, records the out, holds the runner at third. Good play by Hamilton, almost waited a little bit too long to make that throw to first, but records the out and the strikeout. That's her 4th strikeout. Missed on that inside pitch. Great play by Hamilton, keeping the runner at third, flipping it over to Miranda, and Miranda running it in for the second out. So a big 2-out runner on third, outside part of the plate for strike one. Cheyenne Lawrence, the batter, Kelowna, BC. Small 5'2", Aberdeen Hall High School. Hard foul ball straight back. Four 3 now. They check on the runner at third. She stumbled after that foul ball. Cheyenne Simisak's okay over on third. The right-hander back in the box. And the pitch misses outside. Hamilton tried to frame that one for home plate umpire unsuccessfully. Lots of jackets and blankets over there in the stands. 1-1 now, 2 outs. Top of the third. High fastball. Out of play. And the kids chase after that ball. Let's see who comes up with that one. It's like Lord of the Flies over there. Third base coach, head coach, Michelle Webster, her 4th year with UBC Okanagan. Swing and a miss. High fastball blows it past her for the 3rd out of the inning. Her 5th strikeout. UBC gets back into this game. It's now 4-3, and we'll be back here on We Digital.
For every big breath, for every little breath, and for every breath in between, Ontario Power Generation is committed to keeping Ontario's air clean. That's why the power we generate is 99% free of smog and carbon emissions. Because clean air matters to us all.
And we are back here, bottom of the 3rd inning. 4-3, Western Mustangs lead the UBC Okanagan Heat. Lights are on here at St. Clair Sports Park, the beautiful campus of St. Clair College, Windsor, Ontario. Cold night here. The flag blowing hard from left to right. Hit deep into left field. Rosler's there, a basket catch. The wind playing some tricks on her in left field. First baseman Chelsea Mosher can't even watch that one. They get out number 1. Last second, that one, the wind knocked that one down, but she's able to hang on. So Ainsley Weedo is out. That brings up Abby Bush. She had a single her first time. She scored. Bush now out of Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. The right-hander, 5'5". Auburn Drive High School. Inside for the ball. 2-0. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Western leads it 4-3. Fouled back to the screen for strike 1. Western put up 4 runs in the bottom of the 2nd inning to take an early 4-0 lead, but UBC clawed back and put 3 across to keep this a ball game. 2-1, 1 out. Michaela Muir still on the hill. Foul out of play. Muir doing a good job in relief. She came in with the bases loaded. Taylor Rosler got in a little bit of trouble, but Muir was able to get out of it. Muir is from Okotoks, Alberta. Foothills Composite High School, her 3rd year at UBC, Okanagan. The 2-2 pitch. Little change up foul down the left field line. Taylor Rosler chases it down. We'll reset for the 2-2 pitch. Stands starting to fill up now. After this game, don't forget to stay tuned. We'll have the St. Clair Saints trying to reach another CCSA National Championship game. They'll face the Durham Lords. Hit hard in the center fielder. Casey Wright is there. She makes the play for out number 2. The Saints will be facing their rivals, the Durham Lords. Durham beat them in the Ontario Championships in extra innings right here in 2021. Dance party with the kids in the background there. 2 outs. Swing and a miss on a high fastball, strike 1. Big power hitting Lee Miranda. Popped up to short her first time. She's been hitting a lot of extra base hits this weekend over on the Acumen Stadium field. The 0-1. Missed high and away. That one got away from her. Miranda checks down to Coach Lemon. 1-1 now. Bottom of the 3rd inning. The 1-1 pitch. Outside. Wide, strike 2. That's a tough pitch for Miranda to try and reach and hit there. So she's behind 1-2. Michaela Muir on the mound. High pop-up, center field. Casey Wright camps under it, deals with the wind, but makes the catch anyway. So we're through 3 complete. The Western Mustangs lead it 4-3. We'll be back for the 4th inning here on We Digital.
Every child should learn how to swim for health, for safety, and for fun. That's why we've started Canada's Swim Team. Learn to swim at least 25 meters on your own, and you're on the team. Canada's Swim Team. It's that easy. Help make us the world's largest swim team by adding your name at getswimming.ca. Ask your parents first. Swimming, the only sport that can save your life.
And we are back. Our broadcast brought to you by On Time Express in Windsor, Ontario. Also by Bob Riem Sports, all your sporting goods needs. And Martindale Window and Doors. Got the Saints over on Acumen Stadium. Can't quite see them there, but they're warming up for their semifinal matchup. We still have the Durham Lords in the stands here. They just played a game not too long ago. They're still resting. They haven't started their warm-ups yet for the second semifinal. Hanneke Isert Bender. Oh, correction. That's Madison Rosler with the first swing and out. That's Rosler there. A little bit on the handle. Easy play by third baseman Lauren Greco. Gets the pop out for out number 1. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Bailey Burke now. Top of the 4th inning. 4-3 Western. UBC scored 3 in the 3rd inning to get themselves back in this game. They fell down 4-0 early. Burke hits it up the middle. Shortstop Bush comes across. Fires. In time. Beautiful stretch by Lee Miranda. She's been doing that full splits all weekend long. We'll watch that in the replay. Little dribbler to Abby Bush. Burke gets out of the box quickly, fires it on the run, and a full split. Keeps her foot on the bag. for out number 2. The pitcher's up to bat now. High for ball 1. Muir now the hitter. She walked and scored her first time up. Crouched in there, 1-0 count. In tight, change up, misses. She wasn't budging on that. She was going to take the hit by pitch if it came in on her. 2-0 now, 2 outs, nobody on. 4-3 lead for the Mustangs. The 2-0 pitch. High fastball in there for strike number 1. On deck's the leadoff hitter, Casey Wright, if she gets a chance here in the top of the 4th inning. LeDuc still on the hill for the Mustangs. Leans back, rocks and fires. Fouled off to the right side. It's out of play. Two and two. Two outs now, the 2-2 pitch. LeDuc leans back, rocks and fires. Little change up, just missed inside. That'll run the count to full. UBC trying to get something going here with 2 outs. Nobody on. LeDuc looks in for her sign. Little jam shot to the right side. Second baseman gets it, fires it first. In time for the 3rd out of the inning. That ball had a little bit of English. Second baseman Blythe Hilpert had to make a tough play, flip it over the Miranda for out number 3. So we'll head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Still 4-3 Mustangs. We'll be back here on We Digital.
Did you know that the most severe injuries in our region are motor vehicle crashes? 65% of road fatalities last year were directly the result of distracted driving. 90% of injuries arriving in our emergency rooms are preventable. Our message to you this summer is, put down the phone. Just drive. Let's work together to keep our trauma stretchers empty.
Where are you headed?
Just gonna hang out.
If any of your buddies ever pressure you to take a drink, just tell them you promised your dad you wouldn't.
I promise. Love you too, Dad.
They really do hear you. For tips on what to say, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
We are back here at St. Clair Sports Park. The Western Mustangs have a 4-3 lead over the UBC Okanagan Heat. Michaela Muir still on the hill. Hanneke Eisert-Bender the hitter. First pitch, ball 1. Left-hander in the box. And the fans trying to stay warm behind them, bundled up in jackets and blankets. The 1-0 pitch. Fouled into the dugout. They scramble over in the UBC dugout. 1-1. Muir just had that one tough inning in the second inning where she gave up 4 runs. There was an error that helped the cause. Straight back to the screen. Strike 2. Doing a good job at changing speed locations, trying to keep the Western Mustangs on their heels. 1-2 down, nobody out. Bottom of the 4th inning. Swing and a miss. She pulled the string. They have to throw down to complete the strikeout, and they do. She really pulled the string on that one to get her second strikeout. Meg Hamilton now. She singled and scored in that 4-run second inning out of Glencoe, Ontario, her 3rd year. The big righty fakes a square, hits a pop fly, foul out of play. The fans scramble and the kids run for the ball. The tall righty in the box waiting on the pitch from Muir. Outside corner, strike 2. Nice pitch on the outside part of the plate. 5'8" right-handed hitter, Glencoe District High School. The 0-2 pitch. She rocks and fires. Hit hard in the left field. Taylor Rosler running catch for out number 2. She got a good jump on that ball and was able to track it down for the second out. She had a beat on that ball the entire way. Able to help her pitcher. So Wildman now. Vaughan, Ontario, the right-handed hitter, playing right field today. Strike 1 to Wildman. 5'4" out of Vaughan, Ontario. She's 1 for 1 today. A single and a run scored. Bottom of the order did a lot of the damage. Fouled straight back. Guido started that rally at the cleanup spot. And they had 5 hits in that second inning to take a 4-0 lead at the time. They lead 4-3 now. 0-2 now. Fires it in there. Outside part of the plate. Doesn't give the call. It's a ball. He's been wide, but he couldn't give him that wide of a strike. Michaela Muir on the hill. Right-handed Wildman ready. Hit high towards the third baseman. Madison Rosler underneath it. Has a little bit of trouble. Is able to hang on. Wind and the lights playing some tricks on her, but she's able to record the third out. So we're through 4 innings now. The Mustangs still lead 4-3. We'll be back for the 5th inning here on We Digital.
Mont's On Time Express has all of your delivery needs covered with a fleet of 50 vehicles, including cargo and sprinter vans, along with 24-foot straight trucks. It doesn't matter if the freight is big or small. Mont's On Time Express can guarantee safe and prompt delivery service throughout Canada and the United States. Licensed to broker freight throughout North America, Mont's On Time Express features same-day delivery service, along with a state-of-the-art dispatching system and live GPS tracking assistance. Mont's is fully insured and Canadian bonded and has certifications with FAST, CTAT, PIP, and SmartWay. Mont's On Time Express is open 24 hours a day, 364 days a year. To get your delivery moving, contact Mont's On Time Express at www.montsontime.ca or call toll-free at 877-250-8282.
And we're back. 5th inning. St. Clair Sports Park, St. Clair College campus in Windsor, Ontario. That's Casey Wright now, the leadoff hitter. She has a pair of singles today. They're playing way in. She's bunted a couple times. Third baseman Lauren Greco right on top of her. She's going to try a little slap hit past her, but she takes strike 1 called. So Greco is going to have to be careful there at third base. Lee Miranda also in at first. We'll see what Wright has in store. Little slap up the middle. Sliding play over the first base in time for out number 1. Nice play by Blythe Hilpert, sliding to her right, able to come up with it, fire to Lee Miranda for out number 1. Fakes a little slap hit, swings through it, and Hilpert from her knees makes the play. Here comes Kello. She's bunted a couple times as well today. She forced an error by Greco when she threw it into right field, which helped hit hard. Foul ball. That helped UBC Okanagan in their 3-run 3rd inning. Top of 5. These innings starting to move quick. UBC is going to have to claw their way back in this, still trailing by a run. The timeout. We'll reset. The left-handed Cassidy Kello, the catcher today. Left-hander in the box. High and away, ball 1. Amy LeDuc still on the mound for the Western Mustangs, their ace pitcher. Fastball blows it past her. Strike number 2. She couldn't catch up with that high fastball. No batting gloves there for Callow on this cold night. A little change of pace, hit hard down the right field line, just foul. She stayed on that off-speed pitch and drilled it hard down the right field line. Just foul. Might have been extra bases for Callow. 1-2 now, 1 out. Top of the 5th inning. Leduc fires it in there, hit out of play to the left side. So the catcher, Hamilton, asked for time to go talk to her pitcher, Amy Leduc, coming up with a plan for this strong-hitting left-handed hitter. Let's see what Leduc has in store for here on this 1-2 pitch. Leduc leans back. Wheels and fires. High pop-up, left side. Greco's there. She's under it. She makes the play for out number 2. Her bench celebrates. Catcher set up on the outside part of the plate. That's right where she threw it. Greco camping under it, having no trouble at all, making that second out. So right-hander Taylor Roselure now. Roselure moved into left field after she got in trouble pitching, gave up a few runs. Gave up 4 runs. Another timeout called. Out of Port Coquitlam, BC, her 3rd year. Two outs, nobody on. Here's the pitch. Strike on the outside part of the plate. Strike 1. Top of the 5th. Western leads this first semifinal matchup 4-3. Change up just outside. Looked like a little bit of a breaking ball there from Leduc. Missed on the corner. The second semifinal will be coming up shortly after this first one, as the host St. Clair Saints will do battle against their arch rivals, the Durham Lords. Outside part of the plate, strike 2. Home plate umpire giving that outside strike all day long. The batters should be used to it now. Leduc leans back on the 1-2 pitch. Rocks and fires. Hit hard down the right field line. Way foul. The netting catching it. Ashley Wildman retrieves it and flips it back to the infield. We'll redo the 1-2 pitch. Nobody on base here in the top of the 5th. Duke's still on the hill for Western. Hit hard to third baseman. Greco comes out with it. Fires the first off the bag, but she makes the tag. Looks like Miranda came off the bag there a little bit, but was able to swipe tag to get the third out. Let's look on the replay real quick here. Fires it across the diamond, and with the swipe. So that ends the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. We'll be back here on We Digital.
The first kiss. She's thinking about a million things. Like, should I lean in or let him? Do I close my eyes or open them? But for him, he's only thinking about one thing. Did she have peanut butter for lunch?
And we're back on our out-of-town Major League scoreboard update. Game 2 of the playoffs. The Jays are up 9-6. A little bit of trouble. Couple runners on. Nobody out. Romano in the 8th inning. This broadcast brought to you by On Time Express, Bob Riem Sports, and Martindale Window and Doors. So UBC in the field. Muir still on the hill. The right-hander up the bat. Down and in. Called for strike one. Madison Mahan. Unorthodox stance there from the right-handed hitter. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, strike two. So Muir likes to change speeds. Let's see what she does here on the 0-2. Mahan takes her practice cuts. Tries to get focused here for that 0-2 pitch. Here in the bottom of the fifth, the Mustangs lead it by 1 run. A little change-up fouled. Hit the batter. She'll redo it on 0-2. Some of the St. Clair fans starting to trickle into the ballpark now. Waiting for game 2 of this semifinal of the CCSA National Championship Tournament. The 0-2 pitch. High fastball up and in. Ball 1. Mahan, their first year at Western. Getting ready for the 1-2 pitch. Muir on the hill for UBC Okanagan. Hit hard towards the dugout. The Mustangs scramble. Everyone's okay. Good at bat here for Mahan. Coach Bob Lemon over on the third base coach's box. 21st year with the Western Mustangs. His wife right behind him, Mary Ellen. The 1-2 pitch, change up, just fouled. Just got a piece of that to stay alive. Good at bat, making Muir work at his leadoff bottom of the fifth batter. Count remains 1-2. Muir rocks and gets her pitch. Hit hard in the left center field. That's going to be trouble. That's in for a hit past the left fielder. She's heading for 2. It gets past the center fielder, and she's in at second base for a leadoff double.
Second baseman number 6, Blythe Hilfer.
A good at-bat for the leadoff hitter, Mahan. Hits it past the left fielder. Probably should have let that ball bounce in front of her. Instead, lets it get by. Center fielder Casey Wright comes over to help, kicks it a little bit, allowing Mahan to get to second base. So we'll watch for any bunts here. Try and get that runner over. The corners are in. She squares down the third base line. Trickles foul. They're up 1. They're looking to get some insurance runs here. Trying to move that runner to third base with less than 2 outs. Hilpert, third year out of Waterloo. 5'5" second baseman. Having a strong tournament here for the Western Mustangs. She squares again, bunted hard to the pitcher. It's going to be a tough, speedy Blythe Hilpert at first base. Got that ball down. As soon as it's down to the left side, they weren't catching her at first. Fastest runner I've seen all weekend. Beautiful bunt. Runners at the corners for the Mustangs. Nobody out. The 3-hitter, Lauren Greco, comes to the plate. Greco is 0 for 2, strikeout and a flyout. Runners heading towards second. They give her second base on defensive indifference. So they now have runners on second and third. Nobody out. UBC Okanagan in all sorts of trouble, already trailing by a run. Fouled over the screen behind us. Strike 2. Greco now, 5'7" righty out of Burlington, Ontario, Corpus Christi Catholic Secondary School. Bottom of the fifth, Western leads by a run. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That's out number 1. That was a huge out for UBC Okanagan. Striking out Lauren Greco for the second time. So that brings up the big cleanup hitter, Ainsley Weedo. She's their best hitter on this team. Strike 1. She was athlete of the week for the Mustangs last week, batting .733 with 4 home runs. She's out of Mitchell, Ontario. Corners even with the bag. She squares. It's a fair ball. She got a piece of it. She's safe at first base. Catcher Cassidy Kello dove out to try and catch that one. Just tips off her glove. So Western has the bases loaded now. On the bunt single by the cleanup hitter. She's now 2 for 3. That brings Abby Bush 1 for 2. A single and a run and a fly out the center. They got a force out at the plate now, so you'll see the second baseman is creeping in, as is the shortstop. They're going to try and come home for the force. Fouled back to the screen. So a big situation. Bob Lemon over on third base. Sorry, Pete Lemon over on third base, rooting her hitter on. Abby Bush steps in the box, 5'5" out of Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. Hit hard, shortstop. She's going to come home with it. Hangs on for the force out for the second out. A huge out for UBC Okanagan. On the fielder's choice, 6-2 put out at home plate. 2 outs now. Now the infielders can move back because they have a force out at any bag. Nice catch and stretch by catcher Cassidy Kello. That's a tongue twister. Score remains 4-3. Foul to the screen. Strike 1. So bases are loaded. Western trying to get some insurance runs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Muir trying to keep their team in this game. High. Just missed. Ball 1. Big right-handed Lee Miranda. She's 0 for 2. Pop up in a flyout. The 1-1 pitch from Muir. Swing and a miss. Strike 2 on the high fastball. Blew that by her. Up above the letters. 1-2 now. 2 outs, bases loaded. Muir gets her sign. Miranda ready at the plate. Little check swing. First baseman makes the play. Steps on the bag for a big third out. Miranda check swing. Unable to do anything with it. Great play by Chelsea Mosher over at first base to record the third out. So we're through 5 complete now. We're heading to the 6th inning. 4-3 Western. We'll be back here on We Digital.
For every big breath, for every little breath, and for every breath in between, Ontario Power Generation is committed to keeping Ontario's air clean. That's why the power we generate is 99% free of smog and carbon emissions. Because clean air matters to us all.
And we are back, the campus of St. Clair College. We have the We Digital out-of-town scoreboard. The Blue Jays have lost their lead. It's now 9-9, and they're helping George Springer off the field. We're ready here now for the 6th inning. UBC got out of a big jam there to still stay down 1 run. It could have been worse. Cheyenne Simisak, the batter. Little bouncer in there from Leduc. Tried something off speed. Didn't work. Ball 1. Simisak from Surrey, BC. Her first year with the Heat. Top of the 6th inning. Leduc still on the mound for Western. Hit hard over the third shortstop. She makes the nice play. Cheyenne Lawrence. It got over the head. Of Greco, and Abby Bush comes over to make the play. Little jam shot there. Greco had no chance, but Bush moves over to a left, makes the leap leaping grab for out number 1. So that's Caitlin Harmon now, right-hander. Little off-speed, check swing, strike 1. Harmon's out of Abbotsford, British Columbia, Yale Secondary School, her second year with UBC, Okanagan. The 0-1 pitch. LeDuc fires. Just missed. Ball 1. 1-1 now, 1 out. Amy LeDuc stands at the back of the mound, takes a deep breath, and heads back to the rubber. Leans back. Rocks and fires. Little breaking ball, just missed. There's Griff in the background making an appearance, getting ready for this Game 2 semifinal match where St. Clair's going to be facing the Durham Lords. He's getting hyped behind the scenes. In there for strike 2. Two now, 1 out. Caitlin Harmon, little change of pace, out and away for the full count now. Harmon struck out a couple of times today. She works to count the full here against LeDuc. LeDuc ready to go. Here's the pitch. In there. Strike 3 looking. Right down the middle. She couldn't pull the trigger. And she strikes out for the 3rd time, getting the hat trick. This looks like a pinch hitter now. It looks like Lauren Dirks coming to the plate. So Lauren Dirks out of Strathmore, Alberta, Strathmore High School in her second year, is going to come and pinch hit for Shaylin Lawrence. Lawrence struck out a pair of times today. UBC's running out of outs. Here in the top of the 6th inning, they're only 4 outs away from falling in this semifinal matchup in the 2022 CCSA National Championship Tournament. So Dirk's the hitter now. She'll look to get something going for the UBC Okanagan Heat. Amy LeDuc had 1 poor inning in the 3rd inning, but other than that, has been lights out as the Western Mustangs lead this first semifinal matchup 4-3. Check swing. Ball 1. They request a look. No strike down the first baseline. Looked like she held up. 1-0 now. LeDuc composes herself behind the mound again. Little change of pace action. Catches the outside corner for strike 1. Tough for Dirks to be sitting on the bench and have to come into that off-speed pitch while she's sitting on the fastball. 2 away here in the top of the 6th. LeDuc fires in there. High fastball for strike 2. The Mustang bench is fired up. One and 2 now. 2 outs to Dirks. Amy LeDuc on the hill. Wheels and fires. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. LeDuc comes off the mound. Celebrates with her team. The bench waiting for her to celebrate. They're 3 outs away. They're going to come to bat here in the bottom of the 6th inning, leading 4-3. We'll be back here on We Digital.
Did you know that the most severe injuries in our region are motor vehicle crashes? 65% of road fatalities last year were directly the result of distracted driving. 90% of injuries arriving in our emergency rooms are preventable. Our message to you this summer is, put down the phone. Just drive. Let's work together to keep our trauma stretchers empty.
Where you headed? headed?
Just gonna hang out.
If any of your buddies ever pressure you to take a drink, just tell them you promised your dad you wouldn't.
I promise. Love you too, Dad.
They really do hear you. For tips on what to say, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
And we are back, bottom of the sixth inning. The Western Mustangs clinging to a 4-3 lead in the CCSA National Championship semifinal. Semifinal number 2 is going to take place about 30 minutes after the first semifinal is complete. The St. Clair Saints will do battle against the Durham Lords to try and get a berth to the gold medal match tomorrow. Muir ready to go. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Isaac Bender, the batter. Tomorrow's bronze medal match is going to be at 10 a.m. with the gold medal to follow at 12:30. Hit hard, right field, over the right fielder's head. That's a ground rule double. She probably would have got the third on the triple if it didn't hop over the low wall in right field. So UBC Okanagan catching a bit of a break there. She crushed that pitch. One hopped it over the fence. Bailey Burke chases it down, but it hops over the wall. So Meg Hamilton now, the catcher. She's 1 for 2, fly out in a single. She scored a run back in the second inning. The only inning where Western scored any runs. They put up 4. UBC got 3 in the third. Squares, pops it up, bunt, it's fair, it's trickling, foul. It stays. She tries to blow it. Foul, but unsuccessfully. So runners on the corners, nobody out. The Mustangs trying to put some much needed insurance runs on the board. Ashley Wildman steps to the plate now. Third year out of Vaughan. We'll see what they do with the runner on first. They've been letting her go all day long. She jogs down. The catcher looks at her this time. She's trying to get hung up for a rundown. They fired a second to see what they got going. So we got a bit of a pickle here, keeping the runner on. They chase her back to first base. Fires. So now the third baseman, they're finally going to. Now she's coming home. She's in trouble now. She falls. She gets back safely. What a play. If the third baseman would have run her home a little bit, they would have had her dead to rights at the plate. But she threw that ball maybe a split second too early. So the end result there is a runner on second and third. We're going to watch that one again. She runs it back pretty good. Gets the runner caught up between first and second. Smile on the face of the shortstop, Shaylin Lawrence. And they had her. She tried to score from third. They had her. But she threw that ball a little too soon. And Isaac Bender able to scamper back. So Coach Pete Lemon's talking to the home plate umpire now. We might have some sort of substitution. Wildman was up the bat. She took ball 1. So we're going to have a pinch runner. That's Cadence Harrison going in at second base, the pinch runner for Hamilton. Cadence Harrison. Harrison's 5'4" out of Corunna. St. Francis Xavier, her second year. So a pinch runner now, nobody out. Second and third, Western leads by 1 here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Bottom of the sixth. Wildman with a 1-0 count. Misses away. 2-0 here. Western trying to tack some runs here in the bottom of the sixth. The 2-0 count. Fouled back. So 2-1 now. Runners on second and third. Isaac Bender on third. Harrison, the pinch runner, on second. Pitcher fires, catcher scoops it. Good play by Cassidy Kello, keeping that ball in front of her. UBC, Okanagan trying to stay in this game. They only have 3 more outs in the top half to get any runs to try and tie this game. They're behind 3-1 in the count. Inside. Tried to take that off the knee, but got ball 4 anyway. So the bases are loaded here in the bottom of the 6th. So we're going to have a conference on the mound. That's Michelle Webster, her 4th year, talking to her troops on the mound. Looks like we're going to have some changes. That could be number 20, Cheyenne Lawrence. She was playing shortstop. Looks like she's going to be coming in the pitch. So Lawrence in from shortstop is now the new pitcher. And we'll see where the rest of the lineup goes, if Muir stays in the game or if they bring in a new short. Muir looks to be staying in the ball game as Lawrence takes her warm-up tosses. Coach Michelle Webster still talking to the infield, now the outfield, relaying her instructions. Leadoff hitter is going to be Madison Mahan. She's going to be up at the bases loaded. She's 1 for 3, a double, and reached on an error. So Lawrence is coming into a big jam here. Bases loaded, nobody out. Western trying to tack on some runs here in the bottom of the 6th. And Griff getting some dance moves in. He's ready to get this crowd riled up here in Game 2 of the semifinal coming up shortly. He's stretching out, working on those dance moves. Go, Griff, go. So the infield is now in. They're going to have to cut the runner at the plate. They can't afford to give up any insurance runs. Mahan, the batter, her first year in a big situation here. Nobody out. Fouled off for strike 1. That ball had some movement on it. Nice pitch there from Cheyenne Lawrence. 0-1 now here in the bottom of the 6th. Bases loaded, nobody out. Hit hard down the left field line, well foul. 0-2 now. The St. Clair fans starting to congregate, getting ready for a second semifinal. Here's an 0-2 pitch coming. Just low. 1-2. The Western runners getting good secondary leads off there, especially with the infield playing in. They're not being covered. The 1-2 now here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Cheyenne Lawrence, the pitcher. Leans back, rocks and fires. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. The first out of the inning for UBC. Big strikeout there. So Hilpert now, the 5'5" second baseman. She's been clutch today. A pair of singles pop up. She had a big hit in the second inning. Little grounder up the middle. That's through the hole. That's going to score 1 run. Caden Harrison around the throw to the plate. She is safe at the plate. Throw to third. She is safe at third base. Close play at third. The catcher, Kello, fires it down the rose lure. And the runners are at second and third. Hard hit single up the middle from Hilpert. Her 3rd hit of the day. Good throw home. 1 hops the catcher. The run comes in safe. She double clutches the catcher just underneath the tag. She was safe on the play. Good call by base umpire. So Casey Wright having trouble with that right shoulder again. Anytime she throws the ball, she's been hurting. But they're trying to keep her bat in the ball game. She's their leadoff hitter. She has a pair of singles for the team. She's playing through a tough injury. 1 out now. Fastball away. So big insurance runs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 6-3 Western. The runners On second and 30, infield still creeping in. They got to cut down that run. Little movement there. High strike. 1-1. One down here. Cheyenne Lawrence came in from shortstop. Now pitching. Pop up third base side. Rosler is there. She makes the play. The runners retreat. 2 down. Greco now 0 for 4. The 3-hitter. But that brings up big Ainsley Weedo. She's 2 for 3, 2 singles and a run. She can probably put the exclamation point on this game with a big hit here. They up by 3. The big power hitting right-hander. Hit hard down the right side. Mosher over. That's going to be a tough play. Just out of her reach. Good hustle over there by Simisak to help out. Bailey Burke as well. Everyone gets back to their feet and is okay. UBC still having a good time, even though they're down 6-3 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. One strike now, 2 outs. Ainsley Weedo, the center fielder. She's also a pitcher on their team. We'll see if they get through this game, if she'll pitch in the gold medal match. Good scoop there by Cassidy Kello. LeDuc's their ace. We'll expect to see her back tomorrow, but if they get in any trouble, they have Weedo that can come in as well. 1-1 now. Bottom of the 6th inning. Western up by 3. Strike 2 in there. Big St. Clair crowd congregating now on the third base side, getting ready to take over these bleachers after this game. 11 hits for the Western Mustangs so far, only 4 for the UBC Okanagan Heat. In there, hit high in the shallow left field. They're having a little trouble with it. In, makes the one-handed stab. Taylor Rosler, the starting pitcher, turned left field, saves 2 runs on the stabbing catch out in left field. So we're going to the 7th now. Do or die time for UBC Okanagan. We'll be back to bring it to you here on We Digital.
What can milk do? Well, it can turn you into a morning person. It can help fuel some pretty tough stuff. And it can definitely make cartoons funnier.
No, it can't.
Oh, well, it can have a little edge. But come on, even kiddies love it. It'll keep up with you at any age. It makes engines whir and creme brulee creamy. It's one of the easiest labels you'll ever read. And anything that makes this happen is pretty special. In fact, what can't milk do?
No. I never smoked any. Sure, I smoked a bit. But it was more your mom who was into it. Pot grows naturally, but it won't help you grow as a person.
Talking cannabis with your teen can be learned. Download our free brochure.
You know what? Poison ivy grows naturally, but it's not good for you, is it?
Find the answers you need at drugfreekidscanada.org.
And we are back here, top of the 7th inning. We'd like to thank our sponsors, On Time Express, as well as Bob Riem Sports and Martindale Windows and Doors, to help bring this broadcast to you, as well as St. Clair College. It's do or die time now for UBC Okanagan. The Heat are down 6-3. Western Mustangs are 3 outs away from advancing to the CCSA National Championship game tomorrow at 12:30. Amy LeDuc still on the mound, ball 1. She has 7 strikeouts today. That's Madison Rosler up the bat. She's 1 for 2 with a single. Ball in the dirt. 2-0. That bounced about 3 feet in front of home plate. Griff in the background checking out this first semifinal action. Staying warm, I'm sure. 2-0 now. In there for strike 1. The Heat need base runners. They trail by 3 here. They gave up a pair of runs. in the bottom of the 6th inning. High fastball, just missed, ball 3. Madison Rosler trying to get on base. Attending Terry Fox Secondary School in Port Coquitlam, British Columbia. The 3-1 pitch. Swung on, hit down the line, foul ball, just fouled down the line. Home plate umpire coming out from behind the plate. Just missed the corner of the bag. So it runs the count to full. We'll have the payoff pitch shortly. Amy LeDuc still on the hill. Takes a deep breath behind the mound. Rocks back and fires this full count pitch. High fastball, ball 4. Meg Hamilton tried to frame that ball but couldn't do so. Leadoff walk. And the Heat showing some signs of life here in the top of the 7th. Bailey Burke now. She moved over the right field earlier in the game. She's 0 for 2, ground out and a strikeout. So Amy LeDuc now, still on the hill. Rocks and fires. High, but she swung through that one for strike 1. That was out of the strike zone. Oh and 1 now. Rosler on first base. She'll have to be careful. Her run doesn't mean a whole lot right now, being down 3. Hit hard down the foul, right side, foul ball. Fans on the hill starting to congregate as well. This second semifinal game will take place about half an hour after this first one is over. 2 strikes now to Burke. Amy LeDuc rocks and fires. Up and away, ball 1. Outfield playing pretty deep now. LeDuc steps to the back of the mound. Gets a grip on that ball. Leans back and gets ready for this 1-2 pitch. In tight, little blooper over the third baseman's head. Just a fair ball down the line. Just over Greco's head. She couldn't make the play. Just hit inside the chalk. It's now 1st and 2nd. The tying run is up the bat now. The Heat are still alive. Bottom of the order here. That's still Michaela Muir in the lineup. She's 0 for 1 with a walk. She has a run scored. Amy LeDuc in a little bit of trouble here with nobody out. Muir trying to do anything to get on base. A little foul ball out of play to the right side. Heading towards the beautiful Zeckelman Tennis Center. The St. Clair crowd watching this first semifinal matchup. They'll be facing one of these teams tomorrow, either in the gold or the bronze medal match. LeDuc wants a new sign. She rocks and fires. Takes one right down the middle for strike 2. A little change up there, I think. Muir couldn't pull the string, but she's down 0-2, so she's in a little bit of trouble now. LeDuc now gets ready, up and away, ball 1. Good job by Muir to lay off that outside pitch to take ball 1. 1 and 2 now, nobody out. 1st and 2nd for the UBC Okanagan Heat. They trail by 3 to try and get back into this game. In there, hit hard in the left field. It's trapped. It's trapped. The ball's down. The run's coming home. Unadvised runs home. Oh, what a terrible play on the run. Her run means nothing, and she gets thrown out at the plate. A beautiful throw by the left fielder, Madison Mahan. An ill-advised send. She traps the ball. The single is down. She gets to her feet and throws a beautiful strike to the catcher, Meg Hamilton. 1 hop. Easy out on the tag. Tough play. They would have had bases loaded with nobody out. Tough play there. Muir does get the second on the throw. Burke over to third, but a big first out. The tying run is still up. They would have had the tying run on first base with bases loaded and would have had Western in a lot of trouble. So the corners are way in. Casey Wright's been bunting all day long. She's having some shoulder trouble. Her right shoulder keeps having injuries after any time she throws the ball. She takes strike one. So the left-handed leadoff hitter, she's 2 for 3 with a ground out. We'll see what she has in store. The left-hander, Leduc, reaches back and fires. Little chops to the shortstop. Coming home. She's safe underneath the tag. 6-4 now. Bailey Burke dives in home. Western probably would have been better to throw at the first base to get that second out. UBC Okanagan, that's a nice dive. Good call by home plate umpire. Definitely safe. The fielder's choice, she reaches. So runners are at the corners. So coach, big play coming up now. Coach Pete Lemon at third base. His 21st year. Runners at the corners. Kaylee Wright's at first. They're going to try and get her to second base. If she tries and steals, we'll see what they have in store for her. So the umpire coming to break up the discussion. 6-4 now. 7 hits now for UBC. UBC running aggressively on the base paths. One successfully, one unsuccessful. So first and third, we're going to have to watch that runner on first base to see if she tries to take second and if Western throws through to gun that tying run. That's a big run over on first base. Timeout called, Cassidy Kello. She's been bunting all day long as well. She's 1 for 2, reached on an error and had a sacrifice. So what she has in store here. Hit, pop fly, left field. Mahan's there. She makes the catch, tag, draws the throw over the catcher's head, but the runners cannot advance. Again, ill-advised throw to home. The important run is on first base. They should not be worrying about that runner on third at all. That run means nothing there. The big run is Casey Wright on first base. So Mahan overthrowing the third baseman, the catcher, the pitcher, Amy Leduc, doing a great job backing up the play. They still have to worry about that runner on first with the 3-hitter, Taylor Roselure now. She's 0 for 3. She reached and scored on a fielder's choice early. So the Western Mustangs are 1 out away from reaching the gold medal matchup tomorrow. Here's the pitch. Ball away. Strike called. He's been given that strike all day long, and they got it there. 6-4 now. Leduc on the hill. 0-1, 2 out. Down low, in there for strike 2. 0-2. The Mustangs are 1 strike away from advancing to the gold medal game tomorrow at 12:30. Leduc behind the hill takes a deep breath to prepare for this 0-2 pitch. Runners still at the corners for the UBC Okanagan Heat. The 0-2 pitch. High and away, ball 1. Good job by Meg Hamilton getting out of her crouch to keep the runner from moving to second. So some questionable offensive base running there for UBC. Some questionable throws from the shortstop and left field. But we still have a 6-4 ball game. The 1-2 pitch from Leduc. Swung on and fouled back. We'll reset the 1-2 pitch. Leduc to the back of the mound, takes a deep breath, preparing what she wants to do on this 1-2 pitch. She looks in at her catcher Hamilton for the sign. Leans back. She rocks and fires. Breaking ball, hit hard to third base, over the first. The ball game is over. The Western Mustangs advance to the gold medal game. Greco with a spectacular play at third. Fires it over the Miranda at first. The ball game is over. The Western Mustangs win it 6-4 and advance to the 2022 CCSA National Championship tomorrow right here on We Digital and at St. Clair Sports Park at 12:30. My name is Dan Dominguez. I'd like to thank you for tuning in. I'd like to remind you to stay tuned. In about 30 minutes, we're going to have the second semifinal game. The Durham Lords are going to be facing the hometown St. Clair Saints in the second semifinal for the right to go to the gold medal tomorrow. The bronze medal tomorrow is going to be at 10 o'clock here at St. Clair Sports Park, and the Gold at 12:30. We'll be back here in about 30 minutes to see the Saints try and go for the gold medal match. We'll